The Wake Up Call on Sports Radio 105 The Ticket.
I think we had a very, very productive offseason. I think our guys worked real hard. I think we paid attention. We did a good job in the weight room. We did a good job off the field. You know, I asked them to get ready for a long physical training camp. You know, we're trying to build a smart, tough, aggressive football team that knows how to play in crucial situations, and that was part of our off-season emphasis.
Mike Zimmer also spoke yesterday in Mankato as the Vikings reported to training camp. I believe they're on the practice field right now doing the highly octane walkthrough session.
Nothing more thrilling.
Those things can really blow your socks off.
It's crazy how much anticipation, and people literally drive down to Rochester to go see people. Yeah, to go walk around.
Walkthrough.
Yeah.
And it is literally a walkthrough.
It is probably the best access to the players, though, in terms of if you want a signing or something like that.
Yeah, right on. You basically have your pick as they walk off the field, and everyone's pretty receptive at this time of the year. They're not beaten down by weeks and weeks of the same questions. It's still, they have some tolerance built up over the offseason. Granted, it wanes quickly, but got to get them now. Got to get them in July and August.
Wait, can we make a rule for the whole autographs thing? So if you're a guy and if you're over the age of 16, you can't wait solo for an autograph from another human being.
I agree.
Because you get in those lines, you get the kids and you get the ladies, and then you get the 48-year-old dude who's not with a kid or a lady. He just wants, I just need a Sendejo signature to finish my collection. Where it's just
well, and players hate that because they're usually selling them. If you have any wits about you, you know. Yeah.
The players must just go back to the dorms and gossip about how many weirdos were asking for autographs, and just 55-year-old guys wearing their jersey, weeping at the sight of them.
Yeah. I'm not anti-jersey, although it becomes weirder and weirder as you get older to be like.
Rich Eisen has a good rule of thumb that I've adopted. You can't wear a jersey of someone who's younger than you.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
I completely agree with that. If you have a Moss jersey from back in the Randy Moss golden era, wear that until you die. Don't buy a new one. Besides, the old jerseys were better than the new ones.
Yeah, and I'm not as strict on it. Some people do. One thing I do like about a good team is people have their players rather than it's all Adrian Peterson, for example. They say, hey, I'm a this or that. And I suppose I'm behind that. But, yeah, it does get kind of odd. It's like you could wear a hat or you could wear, a shirt or something like that if you're going to the games.
When I was young, and I guess even when I was a bit older, I've struggled with trying to be different in my jersey picks and getting players that are a little off the beaten path, and then they immediately leave. Whether it's Doug Minkiewicz, Wally Zerbiak.
I had Zerbiak too, and I regret that one.
Guys with long last names, apparently. And most recently, Percy Harvin. Complete jersey flops. We have an over-under to get to, gentlemen. I'm going to read you some numbers for the Vikings season upcoming. I want you to quick trigger, knee-jerk, no hesitation. Give me your over-under answer. Let's get it going. Andy, you'll like this one. Over-under 2,500 yards for Adrian Peterson.
Slightly under.
Okay, maybe 2,400, you thinking?
I'm going to say half.
Yeah, I think under 2. I think he'll still be a factor, but not that big of a factor.
I loved your tweet, Andy. You don't like to drive that far.
Well, the sad thing is I had to convert it to feet to figure out how many miles it was because I don't know how many yards are in a mile.
So there's more. Isn't that crazy that over the course of a whole season, guys barely run 1 mile in terms of production?
Yeah, that's true. That's funny.
That's kind of funny. 14 and a half games played for Adrian Peterson this year. He's only played all 16 3 times, Andy.
Over.
Yeah, I'd say over because he's rested.
8.5 yards for the longest run of the year for Matt Asiata. Tom?
Under. No way he's getting to 8.
Way under. I mean, he's maybe going to get a dozen carries, and they're probably all. He's going to have 12 yards rushing this year.
I'm not sure Asiata's going to get the ball in a situation where there's going to be more than 8.5 yards of field.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be at the goal line, or it's going to be like a plunge over the line.
It's 12
of
total yards and 4 touchdowns.
Now, see, if Asiata ever broke it past the second level, I think he would freak out, look to the sides, and be like, "What do I do?"
And then
just lay down.
And then he'd get run down by the nose tackle. 4.5 touchdowns for Cordero Patterson. Andy?
Under.
I'm going to go over. I'm on Team Patterson here.
He had 2 last year. I believe he had 6 or 7, 8 his rookie year.
Well, last year he had 1 rushing, the 67-yard sweep versus the Rams, and then that forced, awkward, like, here you go, please get in the end zone, bubble screen against the Bills. And that's it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he did a really awkward touchdown celebration. 5.5 games before the team brings in competition for Jeff Locke's punting spot. Tom.
I'm going to go. I'm trying to think of how I want to answer that. It's over. I think Jeff Locke's better than people think, but I don't know.
Over. I think it'll be about week 10. Once we got some outdoor element games, and then we'll be like, maybe we'll bring in some random Aussie veteran just for show. And la-di-da.
If Locke has a couple more of those egregious touchbacks when he needs to pin a team in the coffin corner within the first 4 weeks of the year, and then they reach the bye, and Locke has cost them maybe 1 game, I could see them having some competition. 1.5 quarterbacks who make starts this year. Tom.
I think it's all Bridgewater. I suppose he could get hurt, but I think Bridgewater doesn't have the sophomore slump and plays through it.
Yeah, I think it's always Teddy's show, and then he's going to stay healthy all this year. And even though love me some Sean Hill, it's going to be all Teddy.
Definitely a health question. Not to say that Bridgewater's going to be benched for performance. I'm going to say over. Personally, I think Teddy misses 2 games with a minor injury. 4.5 combined starts for Matt Castle and Christian Ponder on their respective teams.
I'm going to go over. The Raiders are a mess, so I can see Ponder getting some playing time there. And Castle is the incumbent starter right now, or what's his deal?
No, he got traded to Buffalo, and he may not make the team. The rumors are that he's on the bubble.
Okay, I thought Buffalo was a big enough mess that he was the starter there,
Apparently they think E.J. Manuel's the guy.
No, I'm going to go over, too, because the scuttlebutt is that Tyrod Taylor's going to get that gig in Buffalo. And so on that bandwagon, Castle might not make that squad if they keep 2 quarterbacks. And then Ponder, Derek Carr's going to get injured. Ponder's going to come in. And then that showdown at O.co, whatever hellhole that thing is. Yeah. Vikings come in against Ponder, and it's Thunderdome. 2 teams enter, 1 leaves because they're going home.
0.5 wins against the Green Bay Packers this year. Tom.
I think they can win at home. You said that on your podcast, right? I think they can win that game at home. I don't think they're going to win in Green Bay.
I don't know what week. It's mid-season, right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
And then week 17 at Lambeau.
I got over as well. I think we'll at least get a split. We'll win at home. And then, week 17 at Lambeau. Teddy makes his first start in Green Bay. We'll take a shot.
I don't know what I'm hoping for.
Packers are week 11. I mean, that's why I think that's a reasonable. If they hit their stride there.
Couple Packer games late in the year. That week 17 game it's scary if the Packers have something at stake. But if they don't, if they've clinched the division, for instance, and the Vikings are fighting for a wild card, that might bode well because then we've got a Scott Tolzien sighting or a Brett Hundley sighting.
Scott Tolzien.
And I wouldn't mind that.
And a sweet spin move.
2 more. 1.5 season-ending injuries by the bye week.
I'd say over. It's a brutal game, and that's really the only thing I worry about with the Vikings this year is that Bridgewater, whoever, that you have a serious injury that kind of screws you up.
Now, are we talking like training camp injuries to like Carter Bykowski, or are we talking about
those
like significant ones?
That's a good clarifying question. Let's go with 53-man candidates.
I'm saying under, mostly because of the bye so early this year in week 5. Also, no hate against Carter Bykowski, pride of Eden Prairie. We love a one of us story.
Right on. I'm as long as it's not Kyle Rudolph. I mean, my stone cold hot take.
I really hope he stays
sustained.
healthy because he's a threat if he's healthy. Yeah.
He's adjusted his off-season training so that he peaks his in-shapeness. I know it's not a word. In the middle of the season instead of before the season, so that he wears out.
Well, he needs to get his other arm sleeved out so he has better balance. That way, better chance of him staying healthy.
Precisely.
I think
he got
that's
some
right.
new ink. Adrian got some new ink too. You see that?
Did he?
Yeah, he got a very elaborate tattoo on his left pectoral and bicep.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it was a representation of some scripture.
It's the armor of God.
Nice. Purple. What did he say? Purple Jesus. That's what he was saying.
One left. 2.5 preseason wins over under. Andy.
Over.
I don't know if it matters, but sure, over. You got 5 games.
I'm going under. They're playing a lot of really bad teams who are really hungry and are probably going to try harder. Minnesota has bigger fish to fry, but when you've got Jameis and you got Mariota, you've got Ponder in revenge and preseason revenge, I think they probably lose a few of these games, and it's not going to mean a thing. So if you dare freak out, listeners out there, if you dare freak out,
don't cross the
at a preseason loss.
Wait, now we'll go back. Don't underestimate the Minnesota Rubes' affection for the preseason, because you remember when Teddy led the last second touchdown drive against the Cardinals last year at the bank, and they're like, oh my God, we won the Super Bowl. Randy Smith.
Carry him off the field, Rudy Rudiger style. I remember that.
Superstar Alan Reisner, Teddy's favorite target.
That's right.
The pride of Iowa.
So many local ties. We got Reisner, we got Bykowski, we've got Scherls, we've got Thielen. I love the provincial nature of this team. Let's talk more football next, and let's broaden it out. Let's talk NFL power rankings. Andy has his. Tom and I will chime in our 2 cents. We got Andy Carlson on the